You got some problems that you wanna solve? Then let's chat. That job getting on your nerves? Then let's chat. Girl, you know I can relate, so let's chat. Cause I'ma tell you what the bottom line is.
I'ma tell you what the bottom line is. I'ma tell you what the bottom line is. I'ma tell you what the bottom.
It's your girl Cece. I'm your hostess with the mostest.
line is.
I'ma tell you what the bottom line is.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first ever episode of The Bottom Line Is. It's your girl Cece. I'm your hostess with the mostest, and I am starting this podcast so that I can share a little bit of my life with you all in hopes that it can help somebody, maybe make a difference, and all that jazz. So just to kind of give you all a little bit of history of how the podcast started. So the podcast is called The Bottom Line Is. And first of all, the title came actually from my mom, because every time I would talk to her about a situation or ask for advice, or if I had an issue, we'll just say that, she would always end the conversation with the bottom line is you need to do X, Y, and Z, which sometimes it could be a little annoying, when you're taking direction from a parent as an adult, but nonetheless, I still appreciate the advice. So that's how the title came about. Now, what we're going to be chatting about as you all journey with me on this series. So week one will always be me, usually with one of my girls. And just think about having a happy hour with your girls, talking about relationships, dating, all kind of topics that you would share with your girls, okay? Think about happy hour, because that's my favorite time. People ask, what do I like to do for fun? Happy hour. So that's what we do here. And then week two talks about career. So my background is in HR. And so I'll be giving out job tips. We'll be talking about careers. Like I just switched and opened up my own business in HR. So I'll be talking to you all about that, starting a business, as well as interview tips and things of that nature. Then week three, we'll talk about healthcare, caregiving, battling any type of health issues, you name it, we're going to talk about it. So, and I also am a caregiver in my personal life. So, and then week four is where we respond to you. And what I mean by that is basically any episodes that you watch, maybe you have some questions or you want us to dig a little deeper into certain topics. That's what we would discuss with you all on week four. So week four is unscripted, and we would just be responding to you all. And sometimes during the week fours, I may go live too as a special treat. So make sure you follow us. And so these podcasts are going to be posted all over on my YouTube, which is under Sierra Tene, or you can look it up by Cece the Diva. You can follow me on Instagram, again, Cece the Diva. So at C as in Charlie, E as in Edward, C as in Charlie, TheDiva. And Diva stands for Divine Intelligent Vixen with Attitude. So not the cockiness. I can be a little bougie, but it's okay. And we're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you watch your normal podcasts, that's where we are. And as far as podcasts are concerned, I don't know if you all would believe me, but I have never watched a podcast before starting my own. Okay, I know that's hard to believe for some people. And to this day, I still have not actually watched a podcast because I didn't really want to be influenced by anybody else. I wanted it to be done my way and my style. So with the podcast, I have the gift of gab, and I'm always, trying to help people out. And so, at the beginning of 2024, I woke up right after the new year, and God just really spoke podcasts into my life. And I have never heard God speak so clearly to me. And so with that being said, here we are. So it seems like everything has just really been flowing into place with that. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how it'll grow and things of that nature. So now that that's been said, again, we're in week one, okay? So we're going to chat a little bit about my backstory. So as you hear things on the future episodes, you'll understand why. So I don't have a lot of dating history. I've only been in about 3 relationships. The first one, that was more so, and I'm sure this person, if they're watching, would not really appreciate this comment, but it is a truth. It was more so a relationship of convenience. And it was my first relationship. And I was 24. I just became a new caregiver. And, that's changing your whole life right there when you become a caregiver because there is, yeah, although I take that back, although there is some tips and books on how to become a caregiver, just like when you become a parent, you kind of just thrown into it and you just really don't have time to really read it. You just learn by trial and error, to be quite honest with you. And I was also getting my master's degree. So doing all of that at the same time. So that person was very close to me, far as a neighbor is concerned, and the rest is history with that. And was nothing to share. We really didn't go out of the house for any dates, so that's why I really don't count it as a relationship because it didn't really do anything to nurture my soul, make me better, anything along those lines. My second relationship came about 3 years later. And in that relationship, it lasted for about 6 years. Uh, I wish I could say that time was flying because I was having fun, but all I can say is time was just flying. Yeah. So what attracted me to, we'll say Mike, because even though that's not his real name, that's the alias. But what attracted me to Mike, besides the natural thing looks, was really because he had just became a new caregiver, and me being me, I wanted to try to help out, and I helped him find caregivers, and you name it, I did it. I even helped watch his mom as well a few times too. So yeah, so that was a lot, and it just basically just kind of grew. He owned a couple of businesses. I'm that ride or die chick that's going to support you in your businesses. But long story short, when I decided to move to the West Coast, we'll say, things kind of change a little bit. And I know sometimes a lot of people will say long distance relationships don't work, but it actually worked for us because he loved to take loved to ride the planes, things like that. So he loved it, and he would come out there, take the car while I'm working, go drive, do him, and then meet me up after I got off work. So it was very convenient. He would come out every couple months, or I would come back home every couple of months to take care of family things. And so at some point, the dynamic changed. So, on TikTok, everybody's been following Risa, I think is her name, the Why Did I Get Married 50-part series or something like that. I have not watched the series. I just been watching what people have been saying about it, but it's one of those things where towards the last couple years of the relationship, I kind of thought the same thing. Who am I in a relationship with? Because he did a whole 360. I swear this man to this day, I swear he is bipolar and has not been diagnosed because all of a sudden he started thinking that I was cheating on him with my neighbor, and I really don't know where he got that information from because I talked to him on FaceTime every night before I went to bed, even though there was a time difference. It was just no matter what I did, he just kept thinking along those lines, which really wasn't fair to me, especially because I didn't have a lot of friends. It was during COVID, so I wasn't even going out. So I'm just, it was just pretty much reaching. And every time after we did break up and we would try to make it work, it was just really hard because he just kept every 2 weeks he just kept going back to that until I finally just said, you know what, this is it, because I could no longer take someone disrespecting me in a relationship where you're supposed to be my partner and you're supposed to help me become a better person, but instead you're trying to tear me down any chance that you can get. And verbal abuse and emotional abuse is real, and I think some people take that for granted. Like, you have domestic violence, you have physical abuse, but emotional abuse and verbal abuse can really tear down your soul, and it make you feel like you're not worthy. And so when I finally realized that I'm losing myself in this relationship, that's when something snapped in me that said that I need to get back on track and find me, and that's what I did. So it's been a few, I guess 2 years, I think, since we actually spoke. And so then this is the mic dropper. My next relationship, I just felt like I was done with men. I said, I don't know, because I had some dating, I don't want to say traumas. Traumas is too strong of a word, but I didn't have any good experiences with dating. And this was my first time really being conscientious about dating because I never had really dated before, although I had been into relationships. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And so I decided to date, and I was living in a new town, also on the West Coast. And these men were of a different caliber. Okay. And what I mean by that is chivalry is very important to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the person that thinks that, oh, a man is supposed to treat me every date. No, I still do 50-50 on things. I still treat, I still do this, I still do that. I make sure I take care of my spouse as well. And so what I found was a few people when I went on the dates, the check would come and they would just act like overlook the check. It's standing up in between us. And they would just still keep on talking. And after 10 minutes of them keep talking, I said, so are we splitting it or what are we doing? Oh, yeah, we can split it. Okay. What if I just got up and went to the bathroom and just walked out? Like, I don't understand. And it's a whole dating series on my TikTok where I kind of give a little bit more details in regards to the backstory there when it comes to my dating history. But I think I went on 6 dates. I mean, and then I had another guy that just talked about himself, didn't even ask me any questions about me to get to know me. I just, I don't know. It was atrocious. It was really atrocious. And I know some people on my TikTok were responding when I kind of gave a little bit of the backstory and tried to blame me because there was one time where I did 3 dates in a week. Well, that's how my schedule was made because I always came back home. And so that was the only time for me to be able to engage with the people I had been communicating with. I didn't want to continue to communicate with people on Bumble and not have met them yet. So I did what I had to do. I mean, what's the big deal, right? So it is what it is. It's done now. It definitely taught me a lot of things. It taught me that being on Bumble and Hinge, people are definitely only in it for one thing. And if you don't give them that thing, then they block you. It's like they never met you. So it's just like, where are the real men at? And it's like the older I get, the pool is getting a little smaller, fewer fish in the sea to choose from, all of that, all of those things and above, right? And so I decided to try the other side of the fence because I just said no. At this point, I'm grasping for straws. Okay. So I did interact with a female and it was going good. Like I felt like emotionally it was very stable for me. It was very enriching to my soul and things of that nature. But then I messed it up. It was going Actually it was going like too perfect. And I'm not going to go into any too many specifics, but I was to blame because I neglected to share something about myself prior to us, basically hanging out. And I regret it. I'm still going through that, emotional moment. I'm in therapy about that emotional moment. So it was only a month, but in that month, we had did so many things that it really, I don't know, it really made a difference. And it felt great to be in a relationship with someone that actually appreciated what I did and appreciated me and really wanted to, open me up into a different world. And so I miss that person, but I'm getting used to the fact that, I have to move on and I have to become a better me, essentially. So it is what it is. But if they're ever watching, please know that I miss you dearly. And so yeah, so that's a little bit about my dating history. Okay. It's not too much there. It really is. I have two younger sisters that are actually married, and I am the one that is still single and ready to mingle. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did, and it has. And I mean, I'm just enjoying me. A lot of my friends are also single, and we make it a point to make sure that we get together anytime we can, have girl talks, such as this podcast, or happy hour. It's my favorite thing. We love Taco Tuesdays. Gotta have a good margarita, and it's just, doing events to, help support each other, really. But Besides that, again, I mentioned that I work full time. I'm also a model, and I just wear a lot of hats. And now I'm starting my own HR consulting business. So, but caregiving and working every day takes takes the cake. It definitely takes the cake. So I wear a lot of hats. And so it does make it really hard sometimes to date because I feel like when you're dating sometimes, maybe after the third or so dates, I mean, you can share your experiences and it might be different for everybody else, but I feel like people will start to say, well, you're not giving me enough attention. You're not doing this for me. You're not doing that. And they fail to realize that I also have somebody else, just like if I had kids, that needs me. So I have to make sure that I split my time, appropriately. And that's what attracted me with Mike because I said, oh, well, he'll understand me being a caregiver and having to dedicate my time to other things, far as appointments and things like that. Because when you're a caregiver, there is no off switch. Like I'm going on vacation next week, there is no off switch. I will still be getting the text messages. I will still be getting notifications on everything. So yeah, it doesn't stop, people. It really doesn't. I wish it does or did, but it doesn't. But nonetheless, some people ask me, going back to dating, they say, you should get back out there and date. The sooner the better. You know, I feel like before you start really dating, or trying to engage in a relationship with somebody, you need to make sure that you're emotionally available. And I just don't know if I am emotionally available at this point in time. And so I think that it's in my best interest to continue to find myself, love myself, grow myself. And I think when that time comes, I think that I will be ready. One of the future episodes, I talked to one of my friends about, about dating and looking for the right person. And I know I've seen some posts where they say God is, trying to work on your person while working on you. So that way y'all both can be ready when you all meet. But God, I need an inkling. I need a little raindrop with a little note. I need a compass. I need something, very much something to guide me to where I need to be, how I need to be, and all the above. Like I'm just keeping it real. Yeah. When my own mother can find somebody on Bumble and I can't find anybody, yeah, that really bruises the ego. It really does. Wow. Yeah. So pretty much everybody around me is in relationships and I'm still searching, but I will keep you guys updated. Okay. During the journey, should I make that step, but I don't know if it's going to happen in 2024. I really don't know. I think, like I said, my focus is really self love and my businesses and this podcast. So I need, again, that's where my time is split. So unless somebody gonna help me edit some podcasts, I I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But yeah. So what am I looking for in a partner? Is a good question. And I might make that the next episode, partner expectations or requirements. So I think about Sierra, the singer Sierra, and everybody talks about the prayer that she had when she, met Russell. I think they are relationship goals. Like we got the same name. Like I need to, I need to get on your level. See, but yes, I am looking for a partner that I can, take over the world with, and we can really like grow and make things work together. Like Neo's song says, I'm a movement by myself, but we're a force when we're together. That's my ideal relationship. Like, yes, you can talk about the looks of this and that, but for me, and it might sound cliche yet again, it's really what's in you because I'm a giver. I don't need somebody that is constantly taking from me. It needs to be some type of balance there. I want somebody that, wants kids. I haven't quite yet made the decision on if I want to have kids. I want kids, but I'm also 37 years old. And the longer I wait, the less eggs in the sea. Okay. Yeah. So I really don't know. I really don't know. That is a to be determined. But a future episode, we will be talking about fertility. So if you are like me and still trying to figure it out, make sure you stay tuned for that because we will be talking about that. Because one of my friends is actually actively going through that journey. She didn't freeze her eggs like I potentially want to do, but instead she is going through a donor and going through that process. But I just have a lot of health issues. I just don't know. I just don't know if I am wanting to carry. As much as I would like that experience, I'm gonna keep it real yet again. I am a punk, okay? I'm gonna look in the camera. I am a punk when it comes to pain. And you can throw shade all you want, but I am. And I don't know if I'm ready. I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, the world could use a little Cece, but whoo, child. I mean, and then trying to be a caregiver too and raise kids. Let me tell you something. That is hard. You will not have time for yourself, and you have to try to make some time for yourself. Otherwise, you are going to go completely crazy. Trust me. But nonetheless, but like I said, you know, if you all think that it's something that I should do differently or things that I should look out for, I mean, I want us to talk about it. Let's have some dialogue about this. Like, what are you looking for in a partner? What age do you feel like I'm just not even gonna worry about it? I know they say the best things come when you're not looking for it. Maybe that'll be true. We'll find out as we go through this journey for sure. But nonetheless, I just want to see where this is gonna go. I just really do. And I want my partner to travel. I forgot to mention that I like to travel. I love beach travels. So yeah, the next places on my agenda are Zanzibar and Bali and Puerto Vallarta and Aruba. So those are my vacation goals for this year, 2024. So I may do some live week fours from those locations, depending on where it falls in the calendar. But yeah, I'm trying to be out of here. Like I made a commitment to myself for 2024 that I am going to travel somewhere every month, whether it's a weekend trip, a staycation, or I'm traveling out of the country. I have made that, uh, I made that promise to myself. So I'm going on vacation next week with the family, but I'm ready for that rejuvenation. But you know how they say you need a vacation from the vacation. I'm gonna probably need that when I come back. I'm not even gonna hold you. So yeah, one day I will have one of those true vacations. Well, actually, I did when I went to Dubai and Maldives. So Dubai, I did a lot of things, a lot of action oriented things. But when I went to Maldives, I got a lot of R&R. It was, if you haven't been to Maldives, it is at least from the East Coast about a 12 hours to Dubai, 5 hours from Dubai to Maldives. So yeah, it definitely is an amazing trip. I mean, I have never seen anything like the sunset. Waking up to that sunset, the clearest blue water, it's amazing. So, and we'll be talking about like I said, about some of my travel escapades. I have a few friends that like to travel just as much as me. And, they too will also be talking about their travel journeys and their travel chronicles and things like that. So, it's a lot coming up, you guys. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I think I kind of gave away a little bit too many teasers during this video, but I think you all get the idea. So, again, make sure you follow me on Instagram, CECTHEDIVA. Make sure you follow me on YouTube. Look me up, Sierra Tanae, and or CC the Diva. And again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Whatever you're watching on, do whatever the directions tell you to do, okay? Yeah, let's make this thing pop. Again, I am here for you all. If it's a topic that you all want me to talk about with my friends or alone, just talking to you all, just let me know. I'm here for y'all, and we're going to figure this thing out called life, because some parts of life are ghetto. Like I just told one of my friends, I said, being single is ghetto. Like it really is, because I really thought that I was going to be married with kids by age 25, and it just did not work as planned. But that's what they say. God laughs when you try to tell him your plans, because it means nothing about what we want and how we plan it, because it's what he has already put in stone for us. So, I'm just ready to go on the ride. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get on this roller coaster, and let's just keep on going higher and higher. So yeah, that's it. Is what it is. So again, I'm gonna say it again. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I always will end the episode with a summary. And I'll start it off with, the bottom line is, we are in for an amazing, 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 that is today's word, okay? An amazing journey. And I really hope that you all, partake in that journey with me. And it's a lot of exciting things to come. So make sure you stay tuned. Join us for our next episode next Friday. We'll always be airing these next Friday. And take care. Thanks so much.